everyone, it's Laura, and I hope you're all doing well. So for those of y'all who are new to my channel, I'm a registered dietitian. Welcome. So I thought I would do another Q&A video because it seems like a lot of y'all are either interested in dietetics or looking into becoming a dietitian or already in school to become a dietitian. And there aren't that many resources out there, or at least people that will just like answer your questions. So I thought I would answer some more of y'all's questions. And a lot of these I've gotten are repeats. And so I've gotten several people asking me the same questions. And so hopefully they'll be helpful. Is it possible to work part-time as a dietitian, and how much money can you make? So actually on Monday, I am going back to work part-time. I'm working 12 hours a week. So I quit my job back in September, and I have rental property, and then I also started a company separate from dietetics, and it's been going really well. However, at my old job, 3 of the dietitians have left, and so they're short-staffed. And so I'm like, I'll make a little extra money, I'll go back, I'll get to see people that I haven't seen in a while, it'll all be good. But it's kind of a temp position, but at the same time, I think I'll be doing it for a while. And so I'll actually be working part-time. There are plenty of opportunities out there, whether it's PRN, so you come in as needed, or you have set hours. Some of the part-time jobs offer benefits, some of them don't, and same with the pay. I was able to negotiate a higher hourly rate because I don't have to go back for the money. And so I was able to stand strong on what I was willing to accept, and if not, I wasn't going back. Some part-time dietitians are salaried, so you have a set wage that you make that year. For me, I'll be going back hourly, and I actually worked part-time in Chicago when I first moved there, and I made $35 an hour up there. And then here in Mobile, so Chicago, Illinois versus Mobile, Alabama. So Mobile, I'll be making $30 an hour. So that kind of gives you a gauge. And I have 5 or 6 years of experience as a dietitian, and I have my master's. So what are your hours like? Do you get most weekends off? So I just told you I'll be working 12 hours a week. However, I can speak for when I was full-time. So when I was full-time, it totally depended on the job and the work environment. So I've worked at jobs where a lot is expected of you. And then I've worked at jobs where it's expected that you get your job done, and that's basically it. And so it totally depends on the work environment that you're looking for, because you can find both. So the job where more is expected obviously worked more. The job where less was expected, as long as I got my work done, I worked 40 hours a week. And then both jobs, I worked weekends and holidays. However, we rotated the weekends and the holidays, and you get paid extra because you carry around the pager that week. The week you're working the weekend, you carry the pager, so you get an extra like $100, $150, depending on where you work. So you get extra money that week, and then you get a day off the following week. And so it really isn't that bad, especially if the following week you have an appointment or you want to take a day off, then it doesn't come out of your PTO. Most dietitians, at least who work in hospitals, work the weekends as well as rotating holidays. But like I said, it's really not that bad, especially when there's 4, 5, 6 people in the rotation. Then that just means every 6 weeks you're working, and it's not bad, especially when you see the little bit extra money in your paycheck that pay period. If you don't mind me asking, what was your GPA at the end of undergrad? So it was a 3.6 something, I think 3.61 or 2. I basically barely made magna cum laude status, like barely. So it was pretty good. I made mostly A's and B's, and then I made 1 C in Chem 2. Actually was going to be a D, and I went to my professor and begged her to give me a C. So yeah. Side note, if you end up with a really bad grade and you're really desperate, then at the end of the semester, go to your professor. And if they've seen a gradual increase, so like maybe you started out and you failed your first test, and then the last test you made a B, you know, a lot of times when they see that progression, they'll go ahead and bump you up. Side note. What type of math is needed in college? Would first year calculus be useful to have or count as a credit towards the field? So you just need basic math. So I tested out of all maths in college, so I actually didn't have to take any math because math is literally my best subject. With that being said, I took calculus as an elective because I was considered, my dad's an engineer, and so I was keeping my options open and just wanted to see how it went. And so I took calculus. Did I need to? Definitely not. You don't need calculus to be a dietitian. And so not, like I said, not that much math is needed at all. Do you need to know how to do basic math? For sure, like fractions, you know, basic stuff. But other than that, no, you don't need anything intense. Did you like the chemistry classes you had to take? If not, do you still find that even though you didn't like the classes, it was worth it? Yes, so I did not like chemistry at all. So Chem 1, I got a B. Chem 2, I got a C, which should have been a D. And then organic chem, I got an A. So I was not a fan of chemistry. I was not that great at it. I had a tutor in all 3 chem classes. So Chem 1, Chem 2, and organic. I had a tutor that I met with every week because I sucked at it. And it was totally worth it. I think it did give me a good basis for hard work and for sticking with something even though I wasn't very good at it, because I'm the type person that when I'm not good at it, it like revs me up because I don't want my flaws to keep me from my goals and keep me from where I want to be. And I refuse to let my downfalls be an excuse for not being successful. And so it did kind of like rev me up to be successful in those subjects. And granted, even though I wasn't that great at them, I excelled in a lot. Obviously, I ended up with a 3.6 GPA. So I excelled in a lot of other classes. So like anatomy and physiology, microbiology, all the biologies. I love biology. My nutrition courses, I did really well in. And so even though you don't like chemistry, I don't think you do. I don't know, you didn't say, I didn't like chemistry and I ended up fine. I think it is important to like things like obviously your nutrition classes, and also things like anatomy and physiology, because you do learn so much about the body and about metabolism and things like that. Did you take a lot of food classes and food prep classes? I have the opportunity of either going the food science route or strictly the dietetics route. Do you have an opinion on which one would be better? So I did take a lot of food and food prep classes. So I didn't have the option to just do dietetics. I think it did give me more knowledge. I do see the benefit in it. I would be curious to look at your dietetics curriculum versus the food science curriculum and see exactly what it is that's different about the two. And it totally depends on where you want to go with your nutrition degree and what type of dietitian you want to be. Not that I expect you to know when you're in college or even in your internship or even after your internship. But I would look at the differences between the two. If I'm assuming the dietetics would be perfectly fine. If I could have not done the food science and food prep, I probably would have not have done it. I probably would have just taken the dietetics route. But that's just me. But again, I'm not looking at your curriculum, so I'm not exactly sure what the differences between the two are. So I hope this video helped y'all out. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to leave them below and I'll make another one of these videos once I get enough questions. I hope y'all have a good rest of the week and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.